Today on In the Woodyard, you're going to get to meet my new best friend. There he is, Martin, and Rosario, his girlfriend. I'm in Wisconsin, way up there, and he's way down there where Martin lives, down in Argentina, a little bit south of Buenos Aires, which is south of Uruguay. So 5,800 miles away, just on the other side of the planet, basically. Now, I'm in Appleton, and currently it is December here. It's the very end of December, and we're in the middle of winter. And where he is, it is the middle of summer. So opposite seasons of ours. So his wood selling season is pretty much done for the year, but now he'll be going into it. Now, he's sent me a bunch of pictures of his wood. There's a lot of gum, red gum they call it. Here he's got a cord of wood stacked. There's a beautiful little load of rounds he's got cut with his steel chainsaw. Now here they're unloading wood by hand. Yes, a truckload by hand. This is red gum, which is apparently their good wood. And to me, it looks a lot like beech as far as the interior of it. They're unloading it by hand. He said it took 4 hours or something like that, a whole truckload. And they sell it by weight there. So yeah, it's cool wood. It's got a bark similar to beech too, where you can see the pile they unloaded and where the truck was. So he'll be cutting all this up. So this is his first truckload that he bought. Up to a while ago, he was just cutting wood that he could find. Here's a great big chunk of wood. I think that's his steel chainsaw sitting there, and you can see how deep the grooves are in this, that it's dried. It's got a wedge. I think it's a steel wedge. It looks like a Fiskars tool up there of some sort. I guess that might be an axe. And there you can see his chainsaw. I think it's a 661, he said. Martin, your chain is a little loose. Just saying. See that gap under there? Tighten that baby up. So here's another. I think this is the cleanest chainsaw I've ever seen. I think he said he's got a smaller, like a 280 something steel. I'm not sure what model it is exactly. But you can lay how deep the dry cracks are into that. There's his little trailer he bought from doing wood. Now originally he started just with his car hauling wood, and then eventually when he made some money, he bought a little trailer. Things are quite different down there as far as how they sell the wood. There's his chainsaw and his little trailer again. I'm guessing he's outsourcing wood somewhere from out in the country. And then he's got his trailer here, and there it's hooked up to his car, and you can see his daughter there. So it looks like it's a Volkswagen Golf, but it looks like it's called a, what does it say, Saran? Saran. So I'm guessing it's probably similar to a Jetta maybe, but it's a station wagon. It could be a SUV of some sort, not sure. Here's his wheelbarrow with a splitting maul, and he's got a tire there, so I'm guessing he must use the tire to split with the wood inside of it there. Does everything by hand from what I can tell. He doesn't have a hydraulic splitter. Splits everything by hand. He's a young, in-shape, 35-year-old guy, not a rotten old bag of oatmeal like me. There you see another splitting stump he's got, and then he's got his racks built with the support pieces, and he's got them back to back. You can see there's space, so that's kind of neat how it can dry in between. There is a splitting block. I'm guessing thousands of rounds have been split on that block. Look at that. That baby's getting rounded. Pretty cool. But yeah, it's great exercise. That's how I used to do too. Here I want you to notice the barrels holding up the pallets in the back there where he's got them together. That's kind of cool. And I'm thinking that, you could put your debris in there, you could put kindling in there, and then just have a cover for it, or even fill it up with water if you're trying to save water for some other purpose, and then have it hold up your bins. I thought of something like that with the IBC tote bladders would be a good idea to put kindling in. Here you can see where he's got his little production area. Here's where stacking makes sense. He's got a small area, a little bit of space, and he needs to maximize it, so he's trying to use as much space as possible. Bunch of split wood there, and this stuff, a lot of it from what he told me was 16 inches, which is a little bigger than what a lot of their stoves will take. Most of their stoves take smaller pieces like 8 to 10 inches, and I think he said 12 is what he settled on. Look at this tree, the twist in that. See that? I don't know what that is, but it's cool. This looks a lot like our red oak. I do not know what this is, but to me it looks like red oak. I'm not sure. I'm guessing it might be the gum, which I think this is the gum right here. You can see the bark on it, similar to our beech, and very red on the inside. Very pretty wood. Here's the end one. That's from the log pile they were unloading. Very pretty wood. There again, you can see the bark. Very, very similar to what our beech looks like. And then the inside on the next one even the grain of the wood and the texture of it, to me looks a lot like beech. I mean, very, very, very similar. And it's very possible it's a very closely related wood, because that is what our beech looks like. Very similar. So very interesting. The next one here again shows the inside piece of that. Almost looks like a mahogany kind of color, but and then there's some bark on the next one. This I think might be honey locust, I think. He said he cuts a lot of locusts. Apparently it's a very invasive species down there, and they can get it for free everywhere. Yeah, that looks like honey locust bark, very much so. That's what I would guess this is. But they have the thorny variety, so it's probably kind of nasty. But yeah, definitely honey locust. You can tell by looking at it. At least that's what I'm pretty sure that's what it is. He had mentioned in his email he sent me that's what it was. Then he's got some bags here where he's bagging wood. And here he has his pieces a little bit smaller, more like chunk wood. Longer ones on the bottom, and then on the top, smaller, shorter ones. And apparently that's how they sell their wood. They don't do wrapping, they do it in bags, which is nice. I suppose if there was some type of a handle on there with holes in the bag, you could lift it and carry it. And if you leave the top open, it would dry. But very interesting. And he does have some customers that he sells wood to that bag it. There again, you can see some wood cut down into chunks. A lot of it's barkless, which I'm assuming they're cutting a lot of dead and down trees. Here's his racks and how he's filling them. Very similar to what I did. And you can see it works very nice. And again, off the ground, very important, you can see, so you can get some airflow underneath there. Again, here's his back, Woodyard, where it's cleaned up. You can see his work area there where there's no grass. That's where he's probably doing all of his production, and some rounds to the left there that are ready to be split. And again, he's doing a lot of this by hand, the splitting, I should say all of it. And it's probably great exercise, which is something we all need more of, and I think he's getting plenty of it by doing that. You can see here he's got a bin built, not a bin, a rack, and he's got the pallet up against the tree. The one thing I worry about when you've got pallets up against a tree is on really windy days, the tree will sway and it can cause your wood to fall over or fall. But he's got it in a full cord there, I believe, or a 4-cord shape where he can get it all in there. There's some ash right there. He did mention they have ash and a couple different malls on the ground there for splitting. That's definitely ash. You can tell by looking at it. The bark is production area. There's his nice little trailer all ready to go for his deliveries. Very nice, very organized. And again, he's probably stacking in there to get the max amount. Now they sell by weight. They don't sell by cord or face cord or third of a cord or rick or rink or row. They do sell by weight. And there you can see the pretty wood that they've got there. You can see there's a mixture of, I see some ash towards the top there, maybe on the bottom, and then their red gum that's mixed in there too. So it's some very pretty wood. Very, very cool how it's set up there. And there's his rack all set up for drying in the corner. And beautiful, beautiful wood. Thanks so much for sending it. I appreciate this a lot. I think people will find this very interesting. So as I'm looking now at his notes, he sold 70% red gum, which is also eucalyptus, 20% honey locust, and then the rest is a mix of blue gum, white gum, and black locust, China berry, walnut, white oak, elm, and ash. So a little bit of everything. He did say that he originally thought he would sell maybe, I think he told me like 1,200 kilograms. That was his goal. And he ended up selling 26 kilograms, 26,000 kilograms. So it's equal to about 52 to 53 face cords, which would be about 17 full cords. So if you're selling 17 full cords at, say, my price at $360, 360 times 17, whatever that comes out to. But I do know that their economy is different than ours. From what I could see, their daily wages and their annual wages are about half of what the United States is, or maybe even a third. So I'm sure the prices are different. Totally different economy there. A lot of things are government paid, like healthcare and stuff like that. So I'm assuming that just because of what I know how it works in a lot of Europe, most of what people make goes to the government. I don't know. I'm sure that we could find out if I did some research. But he did a survey, and he found out that 45% of his people heard about him from word of mouth. 24% was Instagram, and he's got a little ad coming up you're going to see here in a little bit. And then flyers were 17%, and Google search and Facebook Marketplace were 7%, so different. The quality of the wood, he had people rate in a survey. 76% said excellent, 24% good, and everybody else had 0. So I mean, they really liked his stuff. Quality of the service, 97% excellent. Would you recommend? They said yes, 93%. So that's pretty cool. Now, as far as, there's his ad right there. As far as what the people use the wood for, wood stoves was 77%, fireplace 12%, grill 5%. So there you go. Very, very cool. And fire pit 2%. So interesting. Oh, there they are again, the couple. And the best is for last, and the most important person in the entire operation, that's their daughter right there. What a cutie pie. Very cool, Martin. Thanks for sending the photographs, and keep cutting.